Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmaster club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I am Sonja Meindl, your Sergeant of Arms of the meeting. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is the premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Our timer has the virtual hand raised, so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves. Today the castle doors creak open once again. The candles flicker and the mist rises. You have entered the chamber of terror, where presence is power and silence can be louder than screams. Our Toastmaster of the day doesn't just speak, he commands. He doesn't merely lead, he possesses the room. From the deepest grips of leadership speak emerging through fog and flame, please welcome the one and only Count Dracula Brahm, Memone, the master of presence, the architect of fear, and today, your guide through the darkness of your own potential. Prepare to be terrified and transformed. Count Dracula Brahm, Memone, welcome to your chamber of terror.
Welcome, my dears, welcome to my castle. It's been 200 years, my dears. 200 years I haven't had a single drop of the O positive. Now you all know what O positive is. Did you check your blood? Those who have no O positive will be banished into the dungeons forever screaming. For those who have O positive, you are very lucky today. You'll only feel a sting on your neck. That's all you will do. I don't eat candies, my dears. Only O positive. Sweet. And then you'll be taken out and you shall be left at the doorsteps of the castle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Count Dracula's castle. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Today is Halloween theme, and I'm Count Dracula. You can see on the screen a lot of people here with the different Halloween costumes, and they will be enacting different vocal variety. This is all about experimenting and exploring what your vocal variety can do for you and how you can be in character and express yourself and discover something deeper within you, so that when you actually stand up to speak in the real world, you feel confident, whether you feel that you can stand and do dramatic talks if you wish, or motivational speaking, inspirational speaking. My dears, ladies and gentlemen, that is not for everybody. It is only for Toastmasters. When here in Leadership Speak, we experiment with everything so that we become great legendary speakers and leaders. No matter what Count Dracula does today, they will be all destined to greatness with what they are doing today. The polls today, ladies and gentlemen, will only be for not the best speaker, not the best evaluator, but there will be 3 different polls. At the end of the speeches, there will be the best in character. Who was the best character, depicted the best character as a speaker? And then at the end of the evaluations, the Dayan, GE, will, of course, have the poll launched for the best character evaluator. And then at the end, when all the roles are done, and when the thought of the day is complete, my dear friends, we will launch another poll with every character that's been here. Please note down who had the best vocal variety of all. I won't be on the poll, but every other character that's here playing today who is saying something will be on that poll. Best vocal variety. So that it could be the evaluator, it could be the speaker, it could be the person raising the toast, it could be the grammarian, the timer. Whoever speaks today will get a chance to be voted in right at the end. Stay till the end. Don't leave, dear ladies and gentlemen and dear guests. Today we have 41 people here, and you're all going to get a sting on your neck. Make sure you don't put any anesthetics. It will be not painful at all, my dears. Only excruciating. That's it. Only excruciating. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the fun. Now, my most important people here are my guests, our guests at Leadership Speak. Thank you all for coming at in such an auspicious event, our Halloween-themed event. Dear guests, you are the most important people here today. Sit back, enjoy, and let us know in the polls, when we launch the polls, who you thought was the best performer. And for your own clubs, when you go back to your clubs, see what's possible for your club in enjoying Halloween. I know certain areas in the world where we Toastmasters come from, they don't celebrate Halloween either for the belief reasons or they don't know what Halloween is. Perhaps you could pick up a page from here today and use it in your club to see where your club can thrive and grow. A little bit about Leadership Speak for our guests. Leadership Speak is the top club globally in terms of the education awards and in terms of quality and membership and so on. You'll always find us on the dashboard. Have a look at us on the dashboard after the meeting. But in the meantime, I will ask our PR master to post the link to the guest book. If you feel like you want to sign the guest book right away, please do so right now. We'll give you more opportunities during the meeting to post the guest book. So thank you very much for, where is the guest book? So we'll wait for the guest book to be posted. Who is posting the guest book? Where is the PR master? And if not, can Irene facilitate that in the meantime, the guest book? So while we are sorting out the guest book, and it'll be posted shortly in the chat, dear guests, and you'll have more opportunities, we will continue with this meeting. Thank you all for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So relax, dear guests, and let's carry forward. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, if you don't have O positive, this is what you'll be doing in the dungeons. Forever and ever and ever. And this, as you can see, is only bones, because in the dungeons we don't feed you, not at all. We don't have any food for you. We only have blood for me. That's it. So you will be relegated to this. Thank you, PR Witch, for posting the guest book, dear guests. It is in the chat now. The link is there. If you would like to give the feedback now, by all means, or you could wait until you heard some of the presentations and then give us some feedback at that time. Please be with us for the whole meeting right till the end. I'd love to speak to you at that time. Thank you for being here, dear guests. All right, dear lovelies. Thank you, my beauties. Come closer, my beauties. We are going to raise the toast, my dear, and we are going to only pour O positive. That's O positive from the blood bank. It's fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, to raise the toast, can you please spotlight my dear friend here? my dear friend Angela Brown, the fortune teller. Angela, what's the fortune telling about us today?
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today, I look into my crystal ball. And what do I see? I see we're here to express the power of your voice, not the voice that simply fills the air, but the voice that is leads by presence, guided by purpose, and grounded in power. When you lead with purpose, people don't just hear your voice, they feel you. When you speak with purpose, your words have impact. When you speak with power, your voice inspires action. Today, our theme, lead with presence, the power of your voice. Presence reveals purpose, and purpose strengthens your power. And your power together all shape the power that can move hearts. We are here to discuss presence, purpose, power. So the theme reminds us that we don't need to lead only with presence, but with purpose and power. Ladies and gentlemen, open your microphones, turn on your cameras, and raise your voice to the power of your voice.
The power of your
Power
voice.
of
The
your
power
voice.
of your voice.
The power of your voice.
Power of your voice.
The power of your voice.
Thank you for participating. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
All positive, my dears, all positive. Lovely. Ah, delicious. Thank you, thank you. Excellent. It is the best. It has been brewed fresh and it's just come from the blood bank right now. But you are not going to escape, all of you here. Not at all. Because I'm just about to call the Joker over and tell us what she's going to be doing as the timer. Gentlemen. So, the Joker, the Madam Timer, what are you going to be doing today?
Today is your lucky day if you're lining up by the castle gate to meet the Dracula. You will be entering his chamber for just a little sting of your neck. It won't hurt. Don't worry. You won't feel it. You will be inside the chamber when I flash my green light. And when you're inside Dracula's chamber, I'll flash my yellow light. And on the road, he'll be done with you and sucked your blood. And you'll be thrown outside from the back door. I will be telling you and informing everyone by your time, one by one, when I'm asked.
Why can't I
Thank
hear
you.
anything?
Thank you. Thank you, Joker. Make sure they are all laughing when I'm drawing their blood. Laughter is the best medicine, as they say. It won't be painful at all, as I've said before. Only excruciating, that's it. Not painful. Not one bit, my dears. And now... and now, my dears, we have somebody who's going to be telling us how well we've been howling in pain or excruciating, the noises we've been making, and the special spell binding Mr. Grammarian. The ghoul. Welcome. What are you doing today? Are you spellbinding us?
Yes, thank you. Hello, brave souls of Toastmasters and trembling guests. I am your grammarian for tonight, the guardian of ghastly grammar and bewitching words. My duty is to haunt this meeting not with ghosts but with grammar gaffles. I will be lurking in the shadows of every speech, listening closely for word magic and the occasional language monster that sneaks in uninvited. As a grammarian, I have two missions tonight: to listen carefully to everyone's use of English language, collecting hauntingly beautiful phrases, and of course, any frightful grammar slips that might make Shakespeare rise from his grave. The second, to introduce the word of the day, a word so powerful it could wake the spirits of the English past. The word for the day is spellbinding, an adjective, the meaning holding one's attention completely as though by magic. An example, the storyteller's spellbinding performance left the audience in awe. By the end of this ghostly gathering, I will rise again to share my grammarian report, highlighting the most bewitched use of languages and perhaps a few verbal skeleton in the closet. Thank you, and let's summon the next spirit. Back to you, Dracula.
Remember, it'll be spellbinding, and use that word throughout this meeting. Spellbinding, you all spellbound. I encourage everyone who is going to be speaking today to use the word spellbinding, whatever you're doing. If you speak, spellbound, spellbinding. Use the word as many times as you can, and use language and screams and howls that can be captured by our ghoul over there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the theme today is, of course, the power of your voice, leading with presence, the power of your voice. Now, as Toastmasters, we know that presence is given by our voice and how we use our voice to sound confident, or when we are speaking with fear, how it turns into high pitch and we start to speak faster. And when we are at ease, we sort of relax and the voice is more relaxed and there's more timbre and more intonations and more greater pacing and the pause and all those sort of things that come with the voice. The power of your voice is much greater than the presence of your video, of course. But your presence in terms of how the audience sees you is all about how you use your voice appropriately, whether it's humor, whether it's anger, whether it's an inspirational speech or motivational speech, ladies and gentlemen, or you are Count Dracula, it doesn't really matter. You can jump in and out of voices and characters and be a Toastmaster at the same time, right? So that is the thing that is the challenge for our people here who are speakers and evaluators and all the role players to uncover and discover the presence and the voices and the vocal variety. And that is the reason why at the end, we will have the best vocal variety poll launched where all the role players will be on it, except for me, of course, because Count Dracula, he's always dead. He doesn't need anything. He just needs blood. O positive. Make sure. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, now we have some surprises for you coming up very soon. But before I do that, now that the guests have been a little bit warmed up, and hopefully you haven't been too scared, dear guests, and you haven't been running out of the gates, I can see that we have more guests come in actually. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Count Dracula's Castle. This is Leadership Speak, one of the top clubs globally. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as guests, you've seen a little bit about what we are doing today and what we will be doing actually as we go along. The next performer here is showing real presence and humor. But before I go on, can we have the guest book posted again in the chat, PR Master? PR Spooky Witch. If you can post that link in the in the chat again, and there it is. I believe there it is again. Thank you very much. Now the guest, if you feel like that you want to sort of tell us about yourself or give us feedback, it may be a bit too early, or you're too excited and you just want to give us feedback, or you want to tell us who you are and what you're up to, use the guest book form in the chat. Thank you here for being here, and I really appreciate it. Now for our grand entrance. Ladies and gentlemen, be scared. Be very, very scared. We have somebody very, very special coming up. Our education speaker. Every meeting has an education speaker. They speak for about 20 minutes. It could be from level 5 professional speaking, or it could be any other speech, but we extended the 7-minute speech into a 20-minute presentation. And so our next speaker, if you can spotlight Kiljit here for me. Kiljit, are you there?
Yeah, I am there.
It is your day. You were waiting for it for 200 years, my friend. And here's your day now. You happy? You happy? You got so many people to finish off today for me?
Yeah, very much happy, very excited.
Very good, very good. Very good. I'm happy that you are happy. It makes me double happy. Have you had your shot yet, my friend? Have you had a little bit of this to see what's coming up next?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an evaluator for Kiljit, and our evaluator today is for Kiljit is Wahiga Gichinga, who is the fairy. No, Wahiga Gichinga, the fairy. If you can, please spotlight Wahiga. That'll be great for us. Thank you. Hello, Zoom Master. Yeah, you were looking for Wahiga. Wahiga, what's your name, Wahiga? So we can spotlight you. Do you have EV in front of your name?
Dracula, you are moving here and there. The evaluator is toasted pirate.
There we go. There we go.
I'm evaluating
Fairy.
the Toastmaster today.
What's Kiljit doing today? What's he up to?
No, Brahm, it's me, the Toasted Pirate. I'm the evaluator for the education speaker.
That is right. Of course you are. Absolutely you are. So I have my notes incorrectly done here a bit. Okay, let's bring on Atul, the pirate, Zoom master, please. If you can find Atul amongst us, there he is. I can see him right at the top. Toasted pirate.
Toasted pirate.
Oops, we still got. Well, because of the naming, we are getting a little bit. There we go, and now we will add. Thank you very much. And if you can add Kiljit there, thank you very much. Now, Mr. Pirate, over to you.
Thank you, Count Dracula. It looks like you're scared of me. You wanted to escape from me, but you can't. Thank you, Count Dracula, Toastmaster of the Day. And today our education speaker is Toastmaster Kilji, the man with the haunted house. So today he's going to give a speech on pathway persuasive influence, level 3, project 5, and his speech length is 18 to 22 minutes. And the purpose of the project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. And the speech title is Leadership Lessons from Mars. Leadership Lessons from Mars, Toastmaster Kiljit, Leadership Lessons from Mars. The virtual flow is yours.
All right. Mr. Pirate, we don't do that. I introduced the evaluator. I mean, the speaker. The evaluator only reads the objectives. My friends, ladies and gentlemen, Kiljit. Now, where do you normally stay? I think you are from United Arab Emirates, from
yes,
Dubai.
I'm from United Arab Emirates.
And you're very thirsty. You've been in the desert for 200 years, I believe. So you must be very even more thirsty than I am from the desert.
I only get diesel, petrol, something like this. Nothing, no blood.
You've been drinking petrol and diesel and gas?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. In that case, welcome. You'll really enjoy the thrills today. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Kiljit, who is, of course, his real name is Paramjit Singh from Dubai, a great friend and Toastmaster. And he's going to be talking about leadership lessons from Mars. Leadership lessons from Mars. Kiljit.
Dracula, Count Dracula, the leader with the presence. That is one person I was sent to find from Mars. I am on a special assignment. Count Dracula has extended his tentacles across continents. He collected ghosts, ghouls, countesses, and vampires from 32 countries. And we came to know he has his eyes on Mars. Well, that won't do. Not on my watch. Count Dracula, where are you hiding? Behind your 60 ghosts. Let me introduce me to you. My name is Kiljit, a Punjabi ghost from Mars. Actually, I was migrating to Canada, but due to Count Dracula's GPS glitch positioning system, I landed on Mars. I know he is a master trainer, but yes, Kiljit is also master ghost trainer at your service. Tonight, I come to settle my scores with Count Dracula. But how lucky I am! Because instead of Dracula alone, I see an entire assembly of international ghosts. Indians, Canadians, Royal Africans, Europeans, all gathered here at Leadership Week, a cocktail of different type of bloods I will enjoy today. I was ready to suck the blood all of you. But then I noticed something. Your presence. The only thing that can save you and even Count Dracula from becoming my dinner is your unity, your earthly bonds, and most importantly, your presence. Show me your presence. Now, how can you show it? Now, on the count of three, make your scariest Halloween face at the camera. All, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Make your scariest faces. Thank you. Oh, wow. Some of you don't even need Halloween makeup. You have proven your present. So today night, I will spare you. Perhaps even cook Dracula biryani later. Instead of biting your necks, I will share wisdom. Ghostly leadership lessons from Mars. Each one about leading with presence and the power of your choice, which will help you to lead with presence and survive anywhere, Earth, Mars, or Count Dracula's dinner party. Number 1, voice is not just sound. It is presence. It is passion. It is power. I will start with a parable from Mars. Once in a small village, there lived a storyteller. Every Halloween night, the villagers gather to hear his tales. But one year, he lost his voice. He tried to whisper, but no one can hear him. People grew restless, even scared. The magic is gone, they all said. But then the storyteller remembered. The power was not just in the words, but in the way he carried himself. He lit a candle, he raised his eyebrows, he leaned forward, widened his eyes, and gestures with hands. The children gasped. The adults leaned in, and without even raising his voice, he held them spellbound. That is very clear. Voice is not just a sound, it is your presence, a passion, a power. The second one, presence is the real super power of leaders. When I first attended Universal Ghostly Leadership Conference on Mars, the hall was full like today. Count Dracula entered, his cape flying, voice booming. He didn't say much, but everybody turned to him. Frankenstein entered, scratching his head like he has lost his head. He was looking for his brain. And poor Casper is whispering, "Oh, I hope nobody see me. I hope nobody see me." Now, in this case, just imagine who got followed. Not the tallest, not the strongest, not the kindest. They followed Dracula because he had presence. That is what leaders do. They don't just show up, they stand out like all of you have been here today. Thank you for your presence. Now, the third lesson I want to share with you is leadership is defined not by your circumstances, but by your choices, the choices you make. One night on Mars, I met a hungry zombie. He had two choices: either eat Martian rocks, crunchy but tasteless, or chase me for my fresh Punjabi blood, spicy but very dangerous. The zombie thought hard and then said, "Oh, let's compromise. I will eat half rocks and half bush." Leaders also face scary choices. Do I lead with fear or with the hope? Do I choose greed or generosity? Do I choose to haunt or to heal? Now, tell me one thing, all of you. Put here in the chat. If Count Dracula offer you now a blood red cocktail tonight, would you sip it or bravely say, "No, thanks. I will stick with my pumpkin spicy latte"? That is your choice. That is your brave choices. That is the choices you make. Thank you. Now, I request all the ex-com officers of leadership speak to stand up. Now, please jump. Okay, you come back on Earth. Again, jump one time. So, you are still on Earth. Were you floating or grounded? Think about it. In chaos, are you stable or spinning like my turban embracing winds? And Mars, the gravity is very weak. And if you would have jumped, you would have been floating. And that's what happened with me on my first day on Mars. Gravity pulled tricks on me. My turban spun like a UFO, and my mustaches pointed east, then west, then straight up like Wi-Fi antennas. I floated helplessly, panicking. Then an utterly ghostly gentleman whispered, "Oh, son, just breathe." I did it. And suddenly I stopped spinning. That is leadership. In moment of chaos, when the world spins ups and down, presence means staying grounded in your values. So even when gravity disappears, stay grounded in your values. Now, my next lesson. A divided team is a haunted team. Unity saves you. One Halloween night, Dracula, a witch, and zombie sat down for a dinner. Dracula wanted blood soup. The witch wanted frog curry. And zombie wanted brains. They argued so loudly they didn't notice me sneaking behind. And guess what happened? One by one, I got them all. If they were united, I would have never succeeded. But divided, they were doomed. On earth, two divided teams collapse. United teams rise. Presence mean creating unity even when diversity screams for division. Now, this is my question to all members of leadership space. If a hungry Martian ghost like me attack all of you right now, would you run away screaming individually or united as one ghostly choir and scare me back to Mars? Can you do? Can you sing a choir? We are all united, we are all united, we are all united. I will run away. The biggest lesson I learned: true leadership is not about sucking blood. It is about giving life. When I first became ghost, I was angry. I haunted houses. I scared children. I made even dogs bark at midnight. But then one day, I looked into a Mauritian mirror. I saw not a monster, but a leader waiting to transform. So I changed. Instead of hunting, I started teaching. Instead of scaring, I started serving. Instead of draining life, I started giving energy. That is what leaders do. They transform themselves before transforming others. Okay. If you had a choice to become a haunted ghost or a helping ghost, what will you like? So for fellow Earth beings, presence is not about how loud you are, but about how real you are. Presence is when you walk into the room and people feel your energy. Presence is when you make a choice that inspires instead of frightens. Presence is staying grounded, unity in diversity, and courageous in transformation. So no, tonight, as a Mauritian ghost, I give you final warning. Count Dracula, listen carefully. You can keep your 60 girls, your midnight lights, and your creepy castles. But if you ignore presence, if you fail to lead with presence, I will cook you into the Dracula biryani and with extra ghost pepper. But if you stand tall, united, courageous, you will not just survive Halloween. You will thrive as leaders on Earth and maybe even on Mars. Now it is my time for critical evaluation. Leadership Speak is different with members from 32 countries. The club already breathes like a colony. Diverse, vibrant, grounded, presently led by self-directed leaders. And I promise you one thing. If Martians ever launch a Toastmaster branch to train our leaders, we will call you to charter the first multi-planet club. Imagine table topics in zero gravity, evaluations where the counter chases floating filler words. But before I return to the red dust, one last favor. Show your presence tonight. Stand with your colleagues. Be visible. Make the choices to lead everyone. Unmute and declare with me, we are Mars ready. We are Mars ready. We are Mars ready. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And beware, if Count Dracula removes this meeting from YouTube, my only presence on earth proof, I will cut him into pieces and make Dracula biryani. But until then, lead with presence and may your oxygen always be shared. Over to Count Dracula.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Kiljet. Dracula biryani? We shall see. We shall see how that can be possible. But I like goat biryani. That's what I do. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the educational speaker. And besides the humor in that presentation, there was a lot of tips on leading with presence and the power of your voice. On Mars, there's zero gravity. You can jump up and down. You might even fly off if you jump too hard. I don't know. We'll have to ask Elon Musk all about that. He knows more, perhaps. Maybe he'll form a Toastmasters club with you on Mars. Have you seen Elon Musk? Kiljit?
No, I didn't see, but I understand he's also coming there.
All right. Well, he doesn't eat biryani. He doesn't drink blood. He just screams. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for indulging with us. Now, dear guests, you heard the educational speaker. If you heard beyond the mask and exactly what the message was, it was a great message. Thank you so much for some people who have been putting in the chat some comments about that. And it was crafted with dexterity and great tact to bring humor and a great leadership message at the same time. So you had to really listen for the message in between the humor. Dear guests, you are important to us. You heard so far what we do here in Leadership Speak. I can see that some people have said in our guest book that, hey, pass this on to my sister or whatever. We have a link to whoever you want to sort of make sure they come here next time or be with us. The link is in the chat. That is the link to pass on to your friends, family, and anyone else that would like to come here next week or join our membership after coming here. Give them that link, and they will be able to register themselves into our Zoom meetings, and they will get reminders every week to attend, and then they can fill in the guest book when they are ready to join, if they want to join. So, ladies and gentlemen, and dear guests, for you today, however, please fill in the guest book so far, and we will be having the guest book open again a number of times. Madam PR, if you can, please post the link to the guest book. There it is again. Thank you, PR Witch. And the PR Witch is all the way from Turkey, I believe, currently. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for the link. Now, of course, you're all waiting for the speakers. There are 4 speakers. We normally have 5 speakers. One had to drop out at the last minute because of a family emergency. That always happens, right? And emergencies occur, so we had to let go of one speaker to attend to his family and so on. 4 speakers. The agenda was posted earlier, I believe, and if not, let's post the agenda again for our guests who just came in a bit later. Zoom master or PR master, one of you can, if you can, as quickly as possible, post the agenda for our guests. Thank you very much. And I've been preempted for my next speaker before I even call the next speaker. So, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Our next speaker is going to be Countess Helga. And Countess Helga's evaluator is going to be the Joyous Evaluator, Evaluator number 1. If you can spotlight the Joyous Evaluator to tell us the purpose of our presentation. There you go. And the Joyous Evaluator is, of course, all the way from Chennai, India. How are you doing, Joyous?
Whoops.
Great effort. Great effort to create
Count
that.
Dracula. Count Helga.
I'm enjoying O positive today. O positive only.
Whoops, I'm O positive, Count Dracula. I'm not going to be put away. Thank you. Count Helga, are you negative or positive? Today, Count Helga is delivering her speech from Presentation Mastery, Level 3. Know your humor. Know your sense of humor. The speech purpose. Helga has to include at least one anecdote or story intended to entertain us, bring humor into the presentation. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Timer, 5 to 7 minutes. Over to Count Dracula.
Thank you, my dear. You can spread the joy amongst my victims today. There's not a problem. They can laugh as I'm drawing the blood out. It'll only be excruciatingly, they'll be laughing. Countess Helga, how are you doing today? What are you doing from Namibia over here today?
On my carpet, on my Hexenbesen. I landed in Canada.
Very good, very good. Today, Countess Helga will be speaking, as you've heard, and her speech title is My Hexenbesen. I suppose it's a German word. I don't know what it means. We'll all hear what Hexenbesen means. It's all on the agenda, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody could post the agenda for me, Madam Zoom Master or PR Master, for the guests. Welcome, Countess Helga, my Hexenbesen, Countess Helga.
Nothing on earth is so exhilarating as the final hall on Halloween night. Steve Almond said these words, and that's the thrill. And we cheer. The midnight magic is drawing near. While others stay in their room, I ride on my Zoom room. My Hexenbesen shields the show. Wow! Fellow Halloweeners, vampires, goblins, and visitors to Count Dracula's castle, welcome, welcome! And of course, a special welcome to Count Dracula. After 200 years he returns. And why? Because he has cast a spell on you. You are spellbound. You are his. If you feel that bite on your neck, don't fret. It's Count Dracula drawing your positive blood to settle a debt. But Not my blood. I have A positive. Cheers. That was good. Oh, A positive blood. Countess Helga has been waiting in the castle for the Count's return, and after 200 years of rest, I am now eager to run, to leave the castle and move on. As you notice, the spiders have gotten hold of me already. When suddenly I heard a voice in the broom cupboard. Countess Helga, let's proceed together. I was never, ever made to sweep the floor. Shh, shh. I am a Hexenbesen, a zoom broom, built to fly smoothly and without glitches. I am the perfect transport for witches. Yeah. I jump onto my Hexenbesen. Ouch! Ouch! That was a splinter. Gosh, what a big splinter. Let's go into the sky. Brr, brr. Hey, stop. Stop. What now? Flying so high through the darkest night, will you find your way without a light? But, alas, being locked up for 200 years has damaged the landing gear on my zoom room, making it somewhat disoriented, slightly cuckoo. Despite the clear GPS instructions to leadership speak in Canada for our Halloween meeting, we landed amongst gravel, pebbles, and sand. My Hexenbesen, ihr seid's gewesen. Gone, you have been. Wait until next Halloween, together with Madame Angela Celestine. I also read at a certain age, I am too old for my broom. And just when I thought no magic could top the broom ride, I upgraded to a supercharged carpet, my Ferrari. Zoom, boom, flyer. On my Ferrari, I soar higher. Hush, hush, no rush. I am silently hovering over Vancouver, Canada, for the next WCPS, my Witches Council picnic session, and trying to find a landing spot. I'm trying to land without obtaining an entry visa because I now remember on a midnight in September, my entry visa was denied and I cried. Yet, revenge is sweet. Dracula, there will be no biryani for you to eat. Vampires, goblins, visitors to Count Dracula's castle. Like Helga, we all seek adventure with our Hexenbesen. Therefore, my CTA is be curious, seek adventure, enjoy the journey, do the travel, and adapt. Sometimes it must be on a Hexenbesen, who at times leads us astray. Yet take action. Arrive safely at your destination. On your carpet, on your Ferrari. Stay focused. Your progress might be slow, yet it will have a far greater impact. Soon, darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. When the clock strikes midnight, ding dong, out goes the light. My Hexenbesen lost its flare. My Ferrari slows, crashes mid-air. Boom, boom, boom. And at the sound of a bell, Count Helga bids farewell. Bye-bye. Hey, you vampires and goblins, smile and be happy. Soon Count Dracula calls us once again for next year's Halloween. Count Dracula.
Thank you. You can sweep anything out of the way and create something new. Wonderful message. And great vocal variety. And I don't want to sway the poll later on. Very well done, however. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all noting down who's doing what, and you'll be voting for the character and vocal variety at the end. But my next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is my dear mermaid, all the way from France, Cruela. Hello, Cruela. How's Nice in France doing today? What's happening there? Is it sun shining?
Yes, the sun is shining, which you won't like where you are, because you love the darkness.
I love darkness. I'm the prince of darkness, as all know. I don't like light, and I don't like silver bullets. Your evaluator is Cordelia. Robin Stone. Where are we? Diablo. Yes. Robin Stone, all the way from East London in South Africa. Robin, who are you today?
Count.
What are you doing?
Count, I'm not from there. I'm from way, way down. I'm just trying to remember the last time you and I met was nearly 50 years ago in that stinky place called Los Angeles. I'm sure you recall the occasion because
Very
people
well.
generally do not forget me. So, there we go. You know, all this talk of biryani has made me think, because our next speaker is a fish. And I was thinking it wouldn't have been nice to have a seafood biryani. I would love to do that. She is speaking from a path called Presentation Mastery. This should be good. Level 1, the third project, which is called Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. She also wants to know if she can fit in the Zoom frame. My concern, however, is will she fit in the frying pan? Let's see. Back to you, Count.
Thank you. You've always been a very dangerous person. You still are. Watch out for this man. We won't let him loose amongst the guests yet. We will only open the gates and let him have his way. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonja Meindl, who is a Cruela Moonwave, the mermaid. Making waves, Cruela Moonwave.
When was the last time you sat on the shores and watched the ocean when it was seemingly calm? And thinking back, do you remember witnessing that no matter how still it appeared on the surface, something was moving beneath? And have you ever seen how a whisper of a current, a tiny little ripple, become a powerful wave? Our voices are like that too. Even the slightest tone and rhythm can create movement long before the words arrive. Today, let's explore what it means to make waves, not by volume, but by presence. Years ago, I was leading a Kundalini yoga session in Colombia. The room was quiet, but not really calm. Some participants' eyes searched around. Others kept fidgeting on their mats, trying to find their center. The atmosphere felt restless. I paused as I sensed that energy. It felt like a choppy sea, unsettled and uncertain. Simply telling them to relax, of course, will not work. They needed a gentle current to hold on to, something they can follow. So I changed course, and instead of starting my planned sequence, I first guided them through a short set of breathing practices, a mantra, and gentle movements to help them focus and to become grounded. I slowed my voice and softened the rhythm of my cues, and little by little, the energy shifted and their inhales deepened and their exhales lengthened. Their shoulders dropped and relaxed. Calmness settled in, not because I told them to, but because they felt the steadiness in my voice. My presence was reaching them. When the session ended, no one was rushing anymore. They stepped out with peace, knowing deep inside that whatever was next for them could wait. That day I learned that sometimes the tone of your voice can guide the energy long before words can ever do. The power of voice and presence isn't limited to a small classroom. Do you remember when President Obama gave a eulogy in 2015 after a tragic shooting in Charleston? The grief of the families and the whole nation was overwhelming. As he spoke, he felt the void and emptiness the event had carved into their hearts. So he took a long pause. And then he began to sing Amazing Grace. The congregation joined him, and emotions of unity and healing slowly followed, carried first by his tone, rhythm, and heartfelt intention. His words mattered, yes, but his voice and presence carried the real weight. With that pause and that song, he understood that what the nation needed most, empathy and hope. He guided them safely through heavy waves of sorrow to the shores of relief. Whether in a small classroom setting or at a large public gathering, our voices Voice carries more than words. It carries intention, rhythm, and emotions. You don't need to shout to lead. You just need to send the right wave. Even when the world around you shifts and changes, your steady presence becomes the anchor that leads. Now ask yourself, what wave could you create today with your voice? Could you bring encouragement to someone who has lost their spark? Or could you instill confidence to someone who has forgotten their worth? Or could you bring peace to hearts that still caught in the storm? Remember, even the smallest ripple travels far across the sea. Making waves isn't just about steering the waters, it's about setting them into motion with presence, purpose, and the quiet power of your voice. Because when you speak from that still, grounded place within, your voice doesn't just create a sound, it creates waves. And that is how we lead with presence. Back to you, Count Dracula.
Thank you, Cruela. Thank you. And now we learned something here about the voice and how the voice precedes anything else. Your leadership presence is all dependent in the end upon your voice. No matter how well you are dressed, no matter how well you try and pretend to present yourself, your voice will always give you away, and your body language. Because everything that's going on within you is connected, right? You may have outer layers as much as you like, but the inner self always comes across through your body language and your voice. And so we need to pay attention to what's really going on within us by our voices and how we hold our bodies and how we enunciate our words as we speak. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Cruela. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is all the way from Angola, Irish Cassinela. And that's speaker number 4, I believe. Do we have the speakers? Did I get the speakers all? No. Cruela, you are speaker number 4. Our speaker number 3, according to the agenda, is Irish Cassinela. Zoom master, please, if you can spotlight Irish Cassinela as speaker number 3, according to the agenda. We'll wait for that. Irish is in here somewhere. You'll find him here. There we go. If we can remove Eirina, who's Cruela, is the speaker number 3. Yeah, so Irish is speaker number 4. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me just check my notes to make sure that we are talking to the right person, and his evaluator is Juju Gigglewick, the witch from Kolkata. Is Juju Gigglewick here today? Jennifer Gosh.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful.
Hello.
What is the sorcerer of self-control going to be doing today?
Hello. My name is Juju Gigglewick. My potion causes laughter instead of curses. Oh, dear. Self-directed leaders, don't be troubled. We're here for fun, not to be frightened. So today, we have a spellbinding speech, which is to learn or review basic methods
for writing a speech with defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Tick-tock, tick-tock. But before that, Aries, come closer, love. I promise the broom only tickles on your takeoff. As requested, I'll look into your speech clarity, your body language, your ease with the delivery, speech relevance, and audience's engagement. How's that? Careful, my dear. The cookies might be bewitched with happiness. Toastmaster, Count Dracula, what do you think? Over to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. We will now hear Irish Cassinela, sorcerer of self-control. He's joining us today from his cell phone because his computer is having a bit of a problem to connect with the internet. So he's on his data, I suppose. Irish Cassinela, presence under pressure, leading when it matters the most. Presence under pressure, leading when it matters the most. Irish Cassinela as the sorcerer of self-control.
Good day, brave souls and creatures of the night. Have you ever felt air grow colder, the lights dim, and suddenly all eyes are looking at you? That's pressure. That's blood. It creeps in silently, wraps around your chest like fog, and whispers, let's see what you're really made of. Some people will freeze, others will fly. But leaders, true leaders from the leadership speak, they will stand still, even when fear knocks at the door. So tonight, fellow Toastmasters and our distinguished guests, I want to take you on a journey through the haunted halls of pressure, of panic, of doubt, of blood, of fear. There was a time I feared that I felt like my own horror movie, a movie of blood, awakened by complex challenge. Some people that are not in the leadership speak call that problem, we call challenge. Suddenly, confusion spreading, fear spreading, and people looking for direction. And me, right in the middle of it, feeling the walls close in. In that moment, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, the ghost of anxiety came out to play with me. You are not ready. Everyone is watching. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, have you ever felt this? Ever? If you do, if you have, raise your hand, say hi. The ghost is of anxiety and frustration and fear and blood. But here is what I have learned. Presence under pressure. Presence under pressure. And it is not the lack of the absence of fear. It's the decision to breathe while fear screams in your ear. It is a calm heartbeat in the middle of blood. That's where true leadership begins. Not in comfort, but in crisis, in blood. Pressure is like a full moon. It changes you. It will transform you into versions you never thought of. But here in Leadership Speak, we use this light to rise, to become even stronger. So, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, today I leave you with the three truths about leading when the world turns dark. Number one, control the inside, control the inside. Or the outside will control you. When fear rises, your calm mind becomes your sharpest weapon. Be certain, even if you don't know what to do next, because certainty is contagious. Doesn't matter what you are certain about, just be certain about something. It is contagious. People will follow those who are certain, who radiate certainty and belief in whatever is in your heart. You don't care. Just be certain. Last but not least, smile in the face of blood. Smile in the face of blood, in the face of fear. Because a bit of humor is garlic for the vampire of anxiety. When you can smile in the storm, in the darkness loses its power. So, fellow Toastmasters again and distinguished guests, our adventures of tonight. Next time pressure creeps in like a shadow, don't run. And when things get really dark, stand still. Breathe. Breathe. And just smile. It confuses the monsters. Just smile because it confuses the monsters. Back to you, Toastmaster of today.
Remember, we've asked everyone here to go way over the top, beyond. They are all experimenting with their voices. And I totally agree with our sorcerer of self-control. Leadership begins beyond your comfort zone. The limitations that we have around us that we've created out of our beliefs and experiences and so on, leadership keeps growing and becomes ever expanding and transformational beyond our set limits, outside the comfort zone, in the uncertainty, in the place of where I don't know what I don't know about myself. That's where growth is, and that's where leadership really is. And we've asked our speakers and everyone else who's speaking here to go way, way above and beyond what they would normally do to discover something about themselves. And as you can see, it's unfolding accordingly. Be patient. Next week, we'll have our normal meeting if that's what you like. But this week, it is for our members, especially to express themselves and find their vocal variety and their gestures and be crazy as much as they can. This is what we are here for today. Hopefully, you take a page of this lesson here and use it in your club somehow to uncover your latent super strengths. My next speaker is Cruela, and she hasn't got any Dalmatians, of course. Eirina Asimina Stamatoupoulou from Athens, Greece. Welcome, Cruela. And the evaluator for Cruela today is Luciano Yao from Angola. Luciano, Luciano, tell us the character you're playing. Are you Zorro or Dracula, or what are you doing? And what is Eirina Cruela doing today?
I'll try to play the Zorro.
Woohoo!
Steal from the rich and share with the poor. Ha 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 ha. Ahoy. ¿Cómo estás? So, for today, Cruella will be seeking from her path dynamic leadership. She will do a project 2 from level 1, and she'll be talking about writing a speech with a purpose. We want to see that purpose. That's Cruella will be talking about today, and she'll be having 5 to 7 minutes, and she'll tell us about the truth or scare. How Zorro steals from the rich and gives from the poor. She'll tell us the truth and the scare. Over to you, Cruella.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Cruella here today, and she is going to be speaking from, same as Irish did previously, level 1, speech number 2, truth or scare, Cruella. Cruella, truth or scare?
Darling, you know what truly terrifies me? It's not ghosts, it's not ghouls, it's not even poorly tailored fashion. No, the real horror. It's the person at the dinner who leans in close and whispers. So, when are you finally going to graduate? Now that's terrifying. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and brave souls who survived their own interrogations, tonight, on the spookiest of the nights, I stand before you, not as myself, no, but as Cruella, a woman who knows a thing or two about being judged, questioned, and misunderstood. And I'm here to talk about something truly bone-chilling, those invasive questions that haunt us all. You know the ones I mean. Why don't you have children yet? How's your cancer treatment going? Are you cured? Still looking for a job? Don't you think you are too old to start over? These questions lurk in family gatherings, workplace cafeterias, and neighborhood barbecues like monsters under the bed. And here's the terrifying truth. We have absolutely no control over other people's behavior. Let me tell you what makes these questions so frightening. It's not just they are nosy. Oh no, darling. It's that they assume they have the right to your story, trigger genuine pain, and create social pressure. And here's the scariest path. We cannot control them. We can educate, can hope for some empathy, we can model good manners, but still, until society catches up, we are left standing like this, frozen, searching for words. But darling, here's where Cruella would never cower, and neither you should. Yes, we cannot control their questions, but we can control our responses, and that's where the magic begins. See, I've learned something about scary situation, The monster loses power the moment you refuse to run. So tonight, I'm giving you something better than fake blood and candy corn. I'm giving you the phrases, your armor, your shields, your perfectly polished responses that protect you from your peace while maintaining your dignity. So think of these are your social survival kits. Because every villain, every leader needs good tools. Here are your weapons, phrases for different scenarios. I appreciate your concern, but I'm focused on my supper right now. I understand you're curious, but that's not open for discussion, my darling. Oh dear, if I told you that, I'd have to kill you. That's classified information I could tell you, but when you'd have to join my secret society. And finally, I'm dealing that privately. Your understanding means more than your curiosity. These phrases aren't about being mean. They're about being protective of yourself, your energy, your healing, and your choices. You see, when someone asks you a scary question, they are often unaware of the weight they are placing on you. And while, yes, we should educate empathy and manners, and please do model those behaviors, we are not obliged to sacrifice our peace in that moment. So think of this way. You wouldn't hand a stranger your bank password, would you? You wouldn't give away your house keys, so why hand over your emotional privacy? Your story belongs to you. You decide who gets access. You decide when, and you decide for how long. So yes, Halloween is about scary things, but the scariest question we face aren't about ghosts or goblins. They're about graduation timelines, reproductive choices, health battles, and life decisions that others think they have the right to interrogate. But here's the twist, my friends. We have the power, not over their questions. Those will keep coming like zombies in bad horror film, but over our responses, our boundaries, and our peace. So the next time someone asks you a terrifying question, because darlings, in the story of your life, you are not the victim running from the monster. You are the lead character who looks the monster in the eye and says, "Not today. Darling, I'm fabulous." And that's all you need to know. Toastmaster of the day, Count Dracula, back to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Perfectly said. How you respond if you don't run away from the monsters will be conquered. You are the lead character, my darling, fabulous people. You are the lead character of your own destiny. And today you are experimenting with your voice, how it comes and goes, ups and downs, and the pauses. How we are using our voice to convey our message, to lead with presence. This is leadership speak at its finest. Keep experimenting, keep looking for that something that you can really use and be more confident as a speaker and as a leader. Thank you all for coming to speak today. That was our 4 speakers. We are done with the speakers, ladies and gentlemen, guests as well. And now I will turn back to the guests. So, dear guests, We will post in the chat the guest book link again, and let us know what you think of the meeting so far, and give us some feedback. Remember, we asked everyone to go way over the top, so that they can discover and uncover things about themselves that they normally don't uncover in a normal meeting. We've uncorked the bottle today, and everything comes out so that we can discover where we are at and how in the future we can use voice effectively to convey, without over dramatizing, as we see sometimes in Toastmasters Club, the message that we really want the viewer, the audience, to get as to what we are saying. Thank you all for coming to speak today. So we had, if I look at my notes again, ladies and gentlemen, let me just look at my notes. We had, of course, Kiljit today, and then we had Countess Helga, we had Cruela, we had the Sorcerer, and we had, of course, Cruela. Now, ladies and gentlemen, normally we don't call the timer here for the report of the timer. They just put it in the chat, but today we are going to call the timer for their report. So if you will spotlight the timer, because we want to give everyone some stage time. If you can spotlight with me as well, spotlight me and timer at the same time, if you can spotlight me as well. So there you go, Joker. Over to you. I know you've taken your Joker off, but over to you, and use, if you want to use your vocal variety. What was the timings today, Joker?
Thank you, Dracula. I'll give you my time now. Speakers did very well. Our toast, Angela. Time, 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Education speaker, Paramjit, 18 minutes, 24 seconds. Anna, 7 minutes, 50 seconds. Sonia, 5 minutes, 58 seconds. Irish, 6 minutes. Eirina, 6 minutes, 41 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Madam Zoom Master, if you can launch the poll for the best character for speakers. The speaker poll for the speakers. We'll wait for the poll to be launched, the first poll for the speakers. And Eirina, you may, if you are around, if you can help. Oh, there it is. Oh, it is correct. Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you. So please do vote for who was the best character. We are not looking for actually the presentation itself, how they came across as a character today. That's what we are looking for, rather than a best effort speaker. This is a different type of self-expression that we are looking for, and how they really expressed themselves and came across today. So please vote for, and it's the voting will be on for a little while, and do vote for who you think is best. Now, while the voting is going on, and please keep the voting on for a little while so that most of our members can be able to vote. We have about 20 people who have voted out of the 27 who can possibly vote. So looks like the poll has been ended. All right, thank you very much. If you can take a screenshot and send it over to the PR master, or let the PR master know, and take a screenshot of it as well for our WhatsApp group. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored. To introduce to you Dayan, our general evaluator. If you can put Dayan next to me, so that we can have Dayan here right next to me. Please spotlight her, the general evaluator, Aswathy Rajan. Dayan from Chennai, how's it going today?
taken me after 400 years. I'm here all the way from India. And now I'm hungry. I'm hungry of the evaluations. So let me enjoy my feast.
Very good. I hope you will spellbind us all, and over to you as I leave the meeting for a little while you take care of all those evaluations and the feedback. They're feeding. I hope they feed well. Feedback. Over to you.
Count Dracula, the time has come. The moon is high. The candles flicker, and it's time for me, the Dayan of discernment, to begin my ritual of evaluations. Throughout this meeting, I have been silently watching, lurking in the shadows, taking notes of every charm, every spell, and every little slip of the tongue. Now, dear mortals, it's time to lift the veil and reveal what worked like magic and what needs a stronger potion next time. Let's awaken the evaluators from their crypts and hear their incantations of feedback. Brace yourself for this evaluation session. This might just send a shiver down your spine, but will surely awaken the spirit of improvement. Now let's summon the one who dares to evaluate our enchanting speaker for raising the toast. O wise spirit of feedback, and reveal your spellbinding insights. Toastmaster, Mistress Nelly Jane, the floor is yours.
Good evening, my dear souls of the living. Presence reveals purpose, and purpose strengthens power. When one speaks with purpose, your voice causes impact. But when one speaks with power, your voice will inspire actions. And that is my hunting takeaway. Angela, your toast tonight is truly bewitching. And I must say, I love that fortune bowl of yours, that I want to grow from here and get that bowl. It really instantly captured my undivided attention. It's both mysterious and symbolic. It's like peering into the unknown. But let this wandering soul offer a whisper and afterlife. When you raise your glass for the toast, perhaps you gently set down your fortune bowl first. Don't worry, I won't get it yet. It will free your hands to command more presence, allowing your voice to echo with strength and power. And maybe adding a few more chilling words, something like destiny, shadows, whispers of tomorrow. Let your voice rise and fall like a hunting wind. Let your tone wrap around the audience. But overall, your toast was spellbound. You stood tall with confidence, enchanting us with your creativity, and you left me bewitched by your message. So remember, as long as you speak with presence, as long as you speak with purpose and power, even spirits like me will stop and listen. General Evaluator.
It was a delicious starter. I love the spooky voice. I see that you caught the nervousness of the speaker and you spilled the pinch of confidence in everyone here today. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Now, from the mystical woods where fairies weave their magic, comes an evaluator ready to sprinkle feedback dust on our Count Dracula, the TMOD Toastmaster of the day. Welcome the evaluator, Fairy Titania Wahiga.
I come with treats, more treats, and a little more treats. And I hold my magical word for anything that requires correction on for any safety for me and anyone else in the room. Crown Dracula, 200 years and you haven't lost your presence or your voice. What have you been doing? But I know you must have met one all about my brain, and he gave you the secret of lulling us into your castle. The voice. He kept saying that if you're speaking to people, about 38% of your presence should be on your voice. And people will hear. And here you are. You learned the secret. And today, you've led us in an orchestra where we showed our pace, our pitch, our tone, and the volume, depending on what we wanted to say. And when the message was home, we paused. And there we are. But I know where you got your secret. And then I also know today what brings people, what keeps them in your castle. It's your powerful voice, your entertainment with vampires and witches, and your great organization. Today, I have visited your castle, but I came with my magical word to keep me safe from you and all your other assistants flying, looking for some blood. I can give you secrets that I secretly know. And I saw 3 things. One, your preparation with your team. Prepared them. You trained them. So, you had escapades with the vampires and the witches. Today, you have all seen what he was doing the last 1 month. You have seen the theme was well presented, how each speaker was introduced, the transition, the coordination. I saw all that in the castle. Today, you have seen how he works out his power. But don't joke with the fairy. Today, you caught her frequency and called her before time. Next time, beef up your powers. Crown Dracula, you star in preparation. You star in execution. I don't know where you prefer starring, but keep being Count Dracula. Back to you, Dayan.
You surely gave jitters to all the speakers, my dear friend. You perfectly observed every word, every expression of the Count Dracula. Yes, I too love the way my friend welcomed all of us for this fairy night. This is why I am here all the way after 400 years. And it's okay, my dear friend. I see you were coughing because your energy comes from the mistakes by our speakers. And today, our Count Dracula gave you a tough fight. Now, sailing in from the stormy seas of reflection, armed with words sharper than this. Let's welcome our toasted pirate, Atul Shankar, to evaluate the leadership speaker, Paramjit.
Thank you, thank you. I'm the pirate, toasted pirate, pirate of the Africa. I think you all should fear me today. Thank you, Dayan the G. I will give my pirated and toasted evaluation of our educational speaker, the Martian Punjabi ghost, Kiljit Singh. Leadership lessons from the Mars and the Martian soil. It was really great to see the purpose of the project of the member to practice using a story with a speech or giving a speech that is a story and that really met it. And it was truly Martian. It was truly ghosted. I was truly haunted. And we really loved it. And I think the purpose of the project has been met and was within time. Coming to the goods and the bads, the haunted ghost, Kinjit Singh, the voice modulations and the involvement of himself was really great. And you were really like a spooky ghost. We all really enjoyed, and the character was truly involved. And as every speech, there was always like an introduction, body, and conclusion. And that was met. And the purpose and the pace was good and understandable. You used your hand gestures, body movements, but I think being a ghost, you could stand better. You could use your whole body to express. and embrace the character. And you're engaging as you involved. Where are Mars ready? You asked everyone, are you all ready to be a club on interplanetary or multiplanetary? And there was a great response as well. I see some comments saying that Elon Musk can take over that, or maybe Singh can really lead it. And the few things I like the content was stay grounded in your values. Unity saves you, and time leadership is all about good leadership is all about giving back and a good life. I think being the pilot of today, I really enjoyed and I would really leave you safe. Thank you, and as to you, Jimmy. Boom.
Thank you, my friend. I see. Toasted Pirate was playing hide and seek today. Sometimes I saw Atul, and at times the pirate was getting into you. And I completely agree. I think Giljeet was little tired today, and that's why he was sitting and speaking. But I loved the way he delivered his speech. But my friend, remember, only the TMOD summons introduces the speaker. So focus your magical gaze on the speech, not the summoning. Now beware, yet be delighted. The joyous Evalucula glides in with a smile that hides 1,000 truths. Over to you, Evacula, the joyous Evacula, to evaluate our first speaker. Joyous Evacula, are you there? Yeah, here you are. Evacula, I think someone took your voice away. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
Bum, 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 bum. Woo! Count Helga. What a gratefully dramatic presentation. My takeaway was your lovely vocal variety. Count Helga, I was spellbound with the title Hexenbesen. Instantly caught everyone in this group. The way you mixed Halloween spirit. Psh, 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 broom, zoom. The speech was all about vocal variety, and you brought it in countless times that Dracula will come behind you. Together, you brought zoom, broom, swish, splash. After 200 years, from tomb to zoom. What do I think I can do? Will you let me throw a little sprinkling of suggestion? Drip, 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 drip with the blood. Transitions. When you spoke about no visa, no entry, no biryani for the count, he is coming after your blood. After 2 centuries of rest, you could have said, even the immigration couldn't handle my resurrection. I am coming. When you mentioned that, the transitions from Vancouver, from tomb to leadership speak, I was spinning like Dracula came for my blood. In summary, I think your call to action was positive. Be curious. Seek adventure. Enjoy the journey. Whether it's on a vroom, or Zoom. You were clearly creative, delightfully haunting, with the energy after 200 years of being inside. It was a speech that definitely was fantastic. You truly rose from the dead and stayed in our heads. Count Helga, that is the summary. Biryani with delightful O positive. Here you go. Ta-ta, pum, 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 pum.
You made my friend. Vroom, vroom, swish, swash. You rightly understood the speaker. I love the recommendations on the transitions. Very powerful. Not only the speech, truly delightfully haunted evaluation too. I am loving it. I'm loving it. Now, from the depths below rises a voice of fiery wisdom. The devil Diablo, Robin himself. Let's welcome him to cast his powerful spell of evaluation. Over to you, Devil Diablo.
Thank you. It is my pleasure. Wow. Yes. To evaluate a mermaid. Can you believe that? Well, let me just say this to everybody. Mermaid, you had to perform your dance before an audience of ghouls, vampires, and all kinds of assorted monsters. And you were enchanting as you made waves for all of us. And I found you so enchanting that I'm returning you to the sea. No biryani for me today. Not with you anyway. You know, you did something that was really special in your speech. You gave us the rhythm of the sea. I live next to the sea, so I know what that feels like. I know the rhythm of the waves. And you expressed it with your voice and with your body so clearly. You were never stepped out of your natural being at any stage. And that is what I really appreciated so much about you. You did not have to resort to any silly voices or anything like that, because your message was far too serious to do that. Your voice embodied the rhythm. You used poises. your being. You asked me to look at how you use the frame. I just want to say something interesting. That before you started, you were moving backwards and forwards or side and side while you were waiting to come on. But you actually didn't do it during your speech. And I thought if you'd done it during your speech, it would just have made it so much clearer. Your takeaway was very clear. But our voices, what we say to people, does matter. It has an impact that can make such a difference to somebody. Go and swim free, my mermaid. And thank you for today's presentation and gift to all of us. Back to you, GE.
My friend Devil, you know, you are looking very handsome today. But I am little jealous. You spoke so good about the speaker. I know, she was good. But I love the recommendation on the body language. I agree. It could have matched her character. I'm sure she will come up with the improvements the next time. And now, fluttering in with laughter and a sprinkle of spooky charm, here comes Juju Gigamic. Jennifer, enchant us with your magical evaluation. Over to you.
Oh, yeah. You dared to steer my cauldron, did you? Brave soul indeed. The sorcerer of self-control. You spellbound me by firstly standing and delivering your speech. This showed an appearance of professionalism in spite of the spooky speech with a message. Wow. Your delivery was so clear and the content was exceptionally crafted. Your personal story of you wrapped around the ghosts were weaved in beautifully with the apt voice and your gestures was exceptional. I loved them all. Your three great examples, 2 or 3 points to overcome fear, were spot on. Control the inside, or the outside will control you. Wow, I really love that. Be certain and smile. But let me sprinkle a little bit of this and a dash of that. If I had to nitpick in terms of what could be better, your voice modulation came in a bit late, and your speech, it could have come in much earlier to demonstrate the theme. The second point certainly could have been more explicitly explained. I mean, the certainty. I was a little confused.
You also explained beautifully about the smile. At the end, your message could have come in to wrap up your speech. How you overcame your fear. Overall, fantastic speech, delivery, standing, and apt content, but a little polish on certainty, and the message could have been all free. Thank you for that speech. I'm looking forward to more in future. Over to you, Dining.
Juju, my friend, nice meeting you today. You added the perfect ingredient in my feast today. I told you all, I'm hungry of evaluations. I loved your summarization. It was perfect and powerful. You gave a great feedback and at the same time held the character with perfect voice variations. Thank you. Now, finally, we were again. Fellow creatures of the night, Zorro is here to hunt down every little mistake and deliver the spell of constructive feedback to help our speakers rise stronger from the shadows. Welcome, Luciano. Over to you.
Zorro is back. Stealing from the rich, give him to the poor. Now to give you back feedback to Cruella. Speech. Cruella, you did steal from the rich. Give to the poor like Zorro does. So we're in the same team. I would like to see, I like the way I see your speech was really spellbounding. I follow all your speech. And you excelled at your speech objective, which was writing a speech with a purpose. So you reach your project. You stole from the rich, gave from the poor. And your personal objective on this speech was to watch your Zoom presence during the meeting. And I can tell that you really excelled at because I was really spellbound. And everyone was spellbound while you were delivering your speech. Everybody could follow. You stole from the rich and you gave from the poor on how to do a Zoom presence during a speech. Righty. That. I would like to see you using more pauses during your speech. By doing that, you will be able to reach your personal objective, which is engaging with the audience. By using pauses during your speech, you'll get the buy-in from the audience. They'll think about it and they will engage. You can also ask them to raise their hand, interact in order to engage more with them. And I want to challenge you when delivering a speech, such as this one, which is truth or scare, those scary questions that everybody faces. Look at it from one aspect and really break it down to the smallest thing, right? Go through the whys until you get to the smallest, tiniest amount. By doing that, you really reach the objective where your call for action is something that everybody can use. During your speech, your call for action touch the aspect of our person can protect themselves from those questions. But those questions will always come because it's how we feel when those questions are asked. The real call for action for that is how can we feel differently when those questions are asked? Because if we can change our emotions when those questions are asked, we transform them into scary questions to happy questions by stealing from the rich and giving from the poor. Thank you. Over to you.
Zara, you are amazing. You know why? Because you stole our hearts and gave back the wisdom of feedback. I think giving an example with the recommendation can give better clarity to the speaker. When you spoke about adding a pause, I was waiting for you to show that. But your final suggestion on asking questions was great. I loved it. Now I'm full, but it's time for my desserts. Thank you, my friends. But even spirits can't escape the grasp of time. Timekeeper, the protector of precision, I request you to unveil how well evaluators danced with the time tonight. Please share the timings in the Zoom chat. Now it's time to summon the grammarian goal, the master of words and whispers, to unveil the language of magic and mischief that haunted our meeting tonight. Over to you, Gaul Vinod.
Thank you, Dayan, General Evaluator. Tonight's magic word was spellbinding, and some of our brave souls dare to summon it. Let me see, who were they? Helga, Joyce, Hannah, Jennifer, Jyothi, Luciano, and two of them used it more than twice. Some speakers conjured powerful phrases that could awaken even the dead. I would not be giving suggestions because it was a spooky meeting, but let me use the words that could bring the dead. The first was our educational speaker. I would not name the speakers here, but I loved the glitch positioning system, the GPS. Then came, do I lead with fear or hope? Haunted ghost or helping ghost? Creepy castles. And the best of the day was Dracula Biryani. Multiplanetary club, table topic in geogravity, amazing ideas, crafted with dexterity, exhilarating, revenge is sweet, of course, our Dracula would agree. Tiny ripples become powerful waves, sensed the energy in the room. Stand still even when fear knocks at your door. Leadership begins not in comfort, but in crisis. Truth or scare. Monster loses power when you. I forgot. Something happened to me. I will leave that. Your emotional privacy. You are mysteries and symbols. Seas of reflection, sprinkling of suggestion, assorted monsters, the rhythm of the sea, and to end with a new name given to the timer, protector of precision. This was what I could collect today. Back to you, Journal Evaluator.
You, grammarian girl, truly bewitched us with words tonight, capturing every charming phrase and haunting slips with precision. Your report reminded us that even in the spookiest of nights, language is the real magic wand. Now it's time to vote for the best efforted evaluator. Zoom Master, can you please launch the poll? Meanwhile, let me share how well I enjoyed the meeting. What a spellbinding night this has been. But let me tell you, my dear mortals, tonight's magic did not appear out of thin air. The brewing of this enchantment began nearly 4 weeks ago, when a mysterious WhatsApp coven was formed. From that cauldron of coordination bubbled ideas, laughter, and a dash of creative madness. Week after week, the excitement grew like a full moon rising as members conjured spooky videos, shared eerie teasers, and prepared to cast their spells tonight. What truly bewitched me, though, was how every member dared to step out of their mortal comfort zones, transforming into ghosts, fairies, pirates, devils. Not just in costumes, but in character. Through airy expressions, haunting gestures, and chilling voice modulations, each one explored the true spirit of this meeting. And that, my friend, is what makes this Halloween meeting unforgettable. Not the costumes, not the props, but the courage to experiment, express, and enchant. A special applause for our spooky Joker Rita, who set the tone for the evening with the perfect blend of laughter and fright. With every eerie giggle and mischievous smiles, they made each guest feel both welcomed and wonderfully easy. Halloween night should begin. Their energy was infectious and truly cast the first spell. That was the energy transformed by our speakers today. As the night fades and the spirits rest, remember every spell cast here tonight strengthens the magic we call Ghost Masters. Over to you, my friend, Count Dracula.
You. Now remember, when the poll is launched, if you're a co-host, do not close the poll while it's running. Otherwise, the poll closes down. Do not touch the poll if you're a co-host. All right, just leave it alone, and the Zoom master will deal with the closing and opening of the poll. You, as a co-host, you are not able to vote, but you please don't shut it down either. Okay, thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We come to the end of this meeting. You all heard vocal variety. You've all heard our Toastmasters or members going way out of their way to express themselves and to discover something different and new about themselves. We also have currently coming up the thought of the day. Before I call on Groot, however, the thought of the day, let me also say this. Your voice, again, is very, very important. Whether it's a mystery or a cliffhanger, or you are doing a motivational presentation where you are talking about the potential of somebody and say, lighting the fire under the chair, or you're talking in inspirational tones, there's something deep within you that you need to discover. And here at Leadership Speak, in a meeting like today, we all discover something different by playing way out of our comfort zone, and we allowed everyone to do that. What have you discovered today about yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, the voice, gestures, poses, they all make a difference to a speaker and how they come across when they speak with confidence, conviction, credibility, and the critical thinking that's backed by all that in terms of how they put the content together. This is what we learn at Leadership Speak. Thank you all for being here, for indulging. Can you please... Oh, before we go to the Groot, guests, we'll post the guest book again one last time. You've seen the whole meeting. Most of our guests have gone and so on, but there's a few still here, the die-hard ones. As you know, this particular meeting was all about vocal variety and leadership presence and discovering something, uncovering something that is hidden within you. Those who stayed, thank you so much. Please fill in the guest book and we will be speaking to you very soon. In the meantime, we have Groot for thought of the day. Now, those who know Groot, here he is.
Hello, humans. This is Groot, Evil Groot. But let me come in my more non-scary human form. I will explain why. You see, the reason I come like this is because of Leadership Speak. All throughout the day, they were saying it does not matter how you look, it only matters how you sound. So I had a change of heart. So instead of showing that scary part, I decided to come in a more non-scary version. But let me come down to business. I'm here to share the thought of the day. Now, since thought of the day is a serious business, let me also come in my more serious voice. So hello there, this is Pul Gupta. I will be giving you your thought of the day. Julian Treasure, in his TED Talk, How to Speak so that People Will Listen, said, and I quote, "The human voice is the instrument we all play. It's the most powerful sound in the world, probably. It's the only one which can start a war or say, I love you." And our theme today, lead with presence. The power of your voice perfectly embodies what Julian Treasure says. To quote from the theme, the true test of mastery lies in how you use your voice to whisper, to thunder, to inspire. Our Count Dracula, aka Distinguished Toastmaster Brahm, he said, and I quote, "It's about vocals before the visuals." To a world which is visual first, including me, that's definitely a thought of the day. Vocals before the visuals. Our educational speaker, Kiljit, aka Paramjit, in his speech, Leadership Lesson from Mars, said that how your vocals create your presence. And when you have presence, wherever you go, you stand out, not just show up. By the law of transitive relationships, this means your vocals ultimately makes you stand out. So next time when you are wondering whether you should focus on how you look or how you sound, perhaps let's focus on how you sound. For a large part of my life, I was focused on how I look. I thought I did not look a certain way, did not dress a certain way, wasn't born a certain way. So for 12 years of my life, I decided to build stage a farewell. I did not think I was born to be on the stage. 3 years back, when I joined Toastmasters and I started leading with my vocals, my sound, my voice, day after day, today I do understand what this theme stands for. Your presence is built by your voice, my friends. So next time when you want to build your presence, perhaps it's time to focus more on the vocals than the visuals. I leave you with this thought of the day, and this is Groot signing off.
Wonderful. Thank you. Very well done. Very well done. Very well done. And so, ladies and gentlemen, those who did not speak, those who didn't learn anything, you'll be relegated to the dungeons and you can dance forever. Those who loved the meeting, and I'm sure you all did actually, we will make sure that you exit the gates safely, unlike what I promised at the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, your blood has been drawn, and I'm happy. So, before we go on, ladies and gentlemen, let me look at my notes once more and do some cheating here. So, we will launch the poll, okay? And so if you can please launch the poll for the best vocal variety for all the role players, all the speakers, all the evaluators who really understood what we are here about today and used their vocal variety to create presence. Zoom Master, if you can launch the last poll for our audience, whoever is remaining here, please feel free to vote for those that you thought used their vocal variety to create presence. Launch the poll. And while the poll is launching, ladies and gentlemen, once more, dear guests, it's time to come and speak to you. And please, if you're a co-host, do not touch the poll for a while until it's quite done. It is time to address the guest. Now, our president is not able to be here today because he was called to work and it's one of those emergency IT problems that is solving, so he won't be here. And since he's not here, I will address the guests myself, and I'm the vice president of membership as well. So, for those of you who are still here, would love to hear from you. And I'm just looking at my screen to see who's survived our vocal variety and presence. And very few people have survived that. Kate Ayugi, are you there? Or Tatenda Kudzini, Marlene Merrill. Any of you here? And I think the rest of us all are members.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, great. Tatenda, can you put on your video?
Oh, I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark, so I can't put on my video.
Not a problem. So now, what did you think of the meeting, and did you learn something about vocal variety and presence?
Oh my word, I learned a lot. Thank you very much. It was quite an interesting meeting. It was quite exciting. It was educative. It was motivational and inspiring. I actually felt challenged, especially on the use of tech. I didn't know a lot of Zoom tools, but seeing you guys, I was challenged to go and learn more on Zoom. And the speakers, oh yeah, wow, they're great speakers. And the vocal modulations, they were great. You were all looking nice. I'm from Zimbabwe. We don't have Halloween, but well, I've seen it on the TV. So it was quite good. It was quite good. So thank you.
Wonderful. And please sign in the guest book. And if you're thinking of becoming a member, please do indicate in the guest book. Thank you for being here, Tatenda, from all the way from Zimbabwe. We have a couple of members from Zimbabwe here. in our leadership speak, actually.
Oh,
For
is
everyone
it?
else, yeah. And for those who, for Tatenda here from her remark, most of our members come from all over the world and they have never experienced Halloween really. It's really a North American thing, Halloween. And since Leadership Speak is in District 86, which is in Canada, North America, we celebrate Halloween here. And so, because this is a District 86 club and this is part of our culture and tradition to celebrate the last Saturday of the month in October, this is what we are doing. It gives us a chance to experiment with our voices. As quite right, our thought of the day, Groot said, your vocal variety precedes visual. Not that visuals are not important, but if visuals are great and the vocal is not heard and not audible, or it doesn't match the visual. Like I said, if you put on a great suit, but comb your hair and go to the hairdresser, and if you're a lady, if you will go out and do the best makeup, but your voice will give you away. Right? So, and I think Groot agrees with me. Your voice is very, very important. And here we uncovered that today. Mystery, motivation, inspiration, cliffhangers, horror, drama, whatever it is that you're trying to convey to your audience out in the real world. Here today was totally an exploration of what we can possibly do. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I will bid you all farewell until the next 200 years. I am done for the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye.
Zoom Master, you may close the recording and stop streaming. Thank you very much, everyone.